sowa bawa shoda sowa dama sowa bawa shoda hong burmle renje ne da dormane kasong asam de je jan choro juro oma rani keje yedam lara sawe toge weje kedan jida nam chandang toma sawe tsembara juro oma sawa loka bola sarwa bigan ja hong wam ho idam balinda kaga ka hi oma sawa loka bola sarwa bigan ja hong wam ho idam balinda kaga ka hi Om Sava Loka Bola Sarva Bigane Ja Hum Wamo Idam Balinda Kaka Kahi Om Beja Agam Padija Sova Om Beja Pushbe Padija Sova Om Beja Dibbe Padija Om Beja Aloke Padija Sova Om Beja Gende Padija Sova Om Beja Nude Padija Sova Om Beja Shabda Padija Sova Kandan dene ladan lo nujin simpon de jeso malian korjen de jenne manjo da jango je la neme zadang manjo dan badan dadan kabazan chidan jela sobaye lejeng dum dala zon tamje jenje dala son Dumin chidan nam dan dan genam mebranze malam ngan semang Dunam Peshin Chimbelova, Dele Punzum Sawat, Yolanda Kanda, Sanga, Choga Samon, Tebran, Namjan, Mandi, Simbarajala, Kanda Mundon, Doji Ango, Gambraje, Do, Masumba, Nesumba, Tiwa Banzan member, Dojara Wadan Trawa Kulari, Hije member, Sunkor Doj, Om Meja. Namgadan Nyambe Samjian Tamji Lana Meba Yangdabaran Zobe Sanje Je Komban Tobra Ja Te Chedo Tambe Che Samon Senhembe Tuje Je Sen Sao Te Yang Hun Toma Mebe Tu Jiden Je Kam Natsobe Je Jawara Te Jen Shikbang Ada Je Jawara Chung Te Tuso Jabe Pomo Yishe Dawa Jawa Tejin Shekwa Ngadala Deba Chere Jede Sanje De Koro Janchu Sempa Dang Dachombe So Pado Meba Namla Lochewa Jadonto Nyengro Jebe Tar lana mebe jancho chodo sem jedo de che gelonam ji lunde kone jebra chune tembala chawa jebra halam tamna tejin do jurbe chir dedara jebra riso shi jebe pomola heba dan de yelendo dena jeba mejin me dame kanza mejin amrim pomora taban dene yamala jidem bomba Number chuba in xie song xing jebe den la lana mebe janchu toporan deba ni mona pime je den la rowe dun jeba ni kayang medo di chir dane korwa madong je bardo pime je den kone rowe dun jebra juji je halam tabo dene jabe pome podang lo jewa jatong ge bardo tingin zangombe mejewe chola zoba top tene rowa tamji yongso tolwa chejewe tingin zan drube tingin zan peyin tole ngadro semjin jewa jatong re jidembe semne dalde zoba topa la ge de madrub je bardo seyang meza shidro yang tenye re kebe drama she cha tene kaba nambar jeba shejawa la 대진 셰바 도요 주베 정도 초주 신 ram점지 심진의 탐진 여원 세월에 좁으라 탐제신 두 탐지 넘버는 좀 봐세 제베 땡연즈는 좀 보라 쇼베 니레지는 로베 조고 제와 자동 봉차제 섬된지 땡연즈는 선제지 대진 인초 원제지 다보 제와 자동제 돌베 율마당 palmo 시 천자 되네 가바 통만 매바 셰자와라 gelhon jima mebe weje jawala choju dejin sheba tamjeji tuje chimbo wezeji wangkurwe papa chenrezi su yang gyur yang daniele choju dejin sheba tamjeji chimbe yishiji ngoro jube wezere chimbo wangkurwe ngozere machi nyebo pama tabe sujin jabro jubale Domara Juba Paban Jideon Wanchoki, Tokane Chone, Simjan Nam, Jipa Chimbo Jetang, Chudugle, Jobran Zeba Yeno, Kalba, Tini La, Rewo Talala, Sanje Chanju, Sembatang, Riban Zeba Tang Mebe Usu, Papa Cherez, Wanchoki, Dome, Ma, Jun Buncha, Ja Sonso, Jo Naro Pena, Doma, Jung Jundi, Adata Yeme, Loda Mabe Kapso, Pendra, Joa Majong Duching. 저 아데샤양 준디에 나다 인 준디를 양아 연도메 배남지에 저월라 상한체도 마주 베페와 마종도 징취 되지에 좁치는 시외 섭지에 로만남제 종의 전원 제준지에 변들에 다지에서 제반드가 오 데나 제준마 도메 도탑 제바 킹크로지에 추지에 두바 도만 안저마이 줄라 템비 킹크로 땅 도지에 코네 소베 도지에 도메 킹코 체웨 나마 주바 땅 니마 베베 로지에 도마 니쇼자지기 킹코 도커바 도바 라메 도타베 도타바소 도탑 제베 릭남 창모보당 도탑 디베 릭장 타예바시게 유발레 네네 방글 도지에 토담 우저와로 타바 텔라 제가마바 쳔보 두숨 쳔베 슈바 아바야 카라 우주와로 je dusum chenpa drungun richen so ne dajaga tsawe lame pado juba yin no tetara lupen je chawa lepura drupe je homa nam ugardo tetawe jinan shuwe dondo mendal mbora shu Lama dan idam phama drama thamede be tondo wansamo shiwe tondo sowan de ban de jeden ze now we will have to repeat these words. I'm sure most of you are accustomed to this. It's a tradition where normally how do I say this? Of course, although it is said that a Buddha's activity, it's always spontaneous. It takes place wherever it's needed, without having to have a reason for it or a cause for it. That it's flawless from all aspects. But nevertheless, when it comes to following a noble tradition or a very decent tradition of the human society, then often it is not recognized as proper if one forces upon others, even though it's something good. Yes? And so therefore it is the same case with the Buddhism, particularly of course starting from our historical Buddha Shakyamuni, and that even though of course he had after attaining enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, from that moment onwards he was most eager to of course pass on whatever what he understood by then. But somehow there was no one really sort of requesting him to actually share his knowledge. And so therefore it is said that for several days actually he went around the vicinity actually looking for individuals to ask for his teachings. So of course it's a funny situation, but sort of a Buddha looking for people, you know. And I believe one time he did cross someone, and at least that person was somehow curious enough to ask him, "Who are you?" Because of, I suppose, because of the way he looked. And he said, "I am the perfectly enlightened being." and somehow he said, "Very good for you." Passed on. So that moment was gone again. So of course it was only a way after that, of course, then well, of course, as we all know, where he had his first teaching, and from there onwards, then of course the teaching, and then went on. But initially, it is said that the Buddhas would give their teachings when requested. So it is more or less the following the same tradition here, that we repeat after these words, and so what they really mean is that somehow I understand the benefit of following this path, and so therefore I request the one who is knowledgeable to pass on this information. So that's what is it about. And so therefore now I would like to ask all of you to repeat after these words. Dusum Sangje Tamje Dang Balden Lame Kadin Ji Dala Pauma dolma yi wangdang jenang zaldu sol wangdang jenang zaldu sol wangdang jenang zaldu sol wan che nam ju tabra chawe chedo lama idam irmebe chongdo dun nam dang hun don rowe gone changju semje bande je de janze bora shu. And then now this is the most important part of the practice in a way, or the very first step of the practice. After having requested for the teaching, or for the teaching, then part of the very first practice is taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, which is of course our subject for tomorrow, of course. But nevertheless, in short, it is not the refuge itself, but the way we sort of go about the refuge is what makes this path called Buddhism unique in a way, because we don't fundamentally go after taking refuge in sort of begging to a higher being or a superior being for sanctuary. Not completely in that sense. There is a temporary meaning to it, because of course if one is not knowledgeable, one would seek for knowledge from someone who's experienced. So in that sense, of course, there is a bit of a sort of setting of someone who's more advanced and who's more experienced, who's now providing the support. But otherwise, fundamentally, what we are really interested is that we have to see the benefit. We have to see the we have to have some sort of inspiration, natural inspiration about what we are about to start. So therefore, on one end, from one perspective, it's somehow having an idea about the result, I suppose, that the state of enlightenment, the result in a way, is that it's a state where one is not confined by our reflective emotions, and of course by karma. And so therefore, meaning complete liberation from the two, and as a result of it, then one is content at the end of the day, fully content, not just content in a sort of a mundane format, but fully content, fully self-sufficient in a way, so that then one is able to be anywhere wherever it's required for the benefit of all sentient beings, without having to require anything for oneself. And so that individual, that ego is no more. So therefore one is completely liberated. And that is what we are looking for. And so for that purpose, and then we follow this path. And then the path itself, of course, then comes in various formats according to our motivation, according to our mentality and sort of habitual pattern. So if we are fond of a gradual path, then accordingly. If we are fond of a sort of a direct answer, then accordingly. And so therefore there are various paths that we take, but overall path as path, that there is a way to attaining that completion. And so in that format, the state that we are looking that we are most inspired by is that of the state of the Buddhahood, and that is what is known as the Buddha, and the path itself, meaning then the journey itself, of course, becomes the refuge of the Dharma, and then Sangha as then the support that we will very much need to begin with, of course. And later on, of course, we ourselves will be no more dependent at the end of the day. But until we reach that state, then we seek for the support of the Sanghas, meaning Sangha. Of course, nowadays we use the term Sangha in a very sort of colloquial way, but I think what they really meant was Sangha as in realized beings, individuals who are on their way to attaining enlightenment, and so therefore seeking for their support. That's what it means. And so of course now in this case we are trying to see the wisdom aspect, the Tara, particularly the green Tara, as inseparable from that the state of the green Tara is the refuge of the Buddha, and the knowledge or the teaching or the path is the Dharma, and then of course the blessing or the support that this wisdom aspect will grant is known as the Sangha. So we see this wisdom aspect inseparable from the refuge, and then at the same time how to say, we have to see ourselves also inseparable in a way. That's inseparable not as in sort of all gelled together by a supernatural glue, but inseparable as in sort of everything sort of goes with each other in a way. Sort of light goes with darkness in a way, not because the darkness is a bad thing and the light is a good thing, but it's just as with everything that goes with everything, in the same way that we are equally inseparable. And therefore, due to that inseparableness, then we are able to attain everything that our teachers have obtained. Realizations, contentment, then of course above all then enlightenment. So in that, with that kind of understanding, then we take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. And as a visual guide, then we meditate the green Tara in front of us, meaning in front of each of yourselves, and each of yourselves then will represent all sentient beings, however many they are, whoever they may be, wherever they may come from, that they are all there with you, or in other words, you are them and you represent them. And then you are in front of this green Tara, and then with utmost devotion, respect and enthusiasm, not out of fear. That's the thing, never out of fear. It's not because they are superior, we are inferior, and so therefore we follow their commands, and so with no doubt, with blind faith we follow their words, not in that sense, but we equally follow their advices, teachings, guides, because we know that what they are saying is the truth. Just like if you have a very kind parent, whoever that may be. It could be one's biological parents, it could be our non-biological parents, that at least we have a parent figure in our life, and that particular figure to us would be seen as someone who is worthy of our respect. So much so that how to say that no matter if they are able to convey it, how to say, charismatically or not, at the end of the day we know that what they are saying, what they are doing, what they are providing is the truth, and so therefore you are willing to somehow follow the instructions out of respect and out of trust. And in the same way, then we have to see this wisdom aspect in the same manner. So then in front of that green Tara, it is normally said in terms of auspicious connections. In other words, good superstition. Then the larger the image of the Tara, the better it is, the more merit. And so therefore, according to whatever size you feel most comfortable with, then accordingly you meditate. And if possible, I mean, of course, with each individual it differs, of course. Some of us we may be just inspired by the two-dimensional paintings or a sculpture or a statue. Maybe to some of us it's more comfortable to meditate that there is a living, breathing person in front of us, and to some of us maybe a very divine being. Maybe to some of us just another fellow. And so therefore, whatever format that you feel most comfortable with, then accordingly you meditate. And then behind the Tara, then meditate countless of Dharma texts, basically teachings, beautifully decorated, as vast as the universe behind the Tara. And then around the Tara and the text, then meditate again clouds and clouds of that are the size of the universe around the Tara, in the form of Tara once again, to represent the Sangha. So then in that format, then out of great enthusiasm, out of complete openness, that's the thing, and that then we seek their refuge in terms of support, in granting us the wisdom, in granting us the ability to be able to see everything as they are, undisturbed by afflictive emotions such as anger and desire and so on, but just clearly as it is, meaning that seeing not necessarily seeing the afflictive emotion as a bad thing, but rather sort of seeing it as it is, seeing anger as anger, but not as something else. And so without praise or criticism, that we are able to see things as they are, as genuine, as raw as they come, so that then we are able to have complete clarity, and therefore without having to force ourselves to do this or do that, but we ourselves will know exactly what to do. That if there is a cliff, then it's not necessarily a bad thing if you don't fall, yes? As long as we are clear that okay, this is a cliff and this should be avoided, as long as we have a clear idea of what it is, then we will make sure that we will never fall. So in the same way, the blessings that we are seeking for, or the refuge that we are seeking for, is none other than to obtain that clarity. So the best way to obtain that clarity is to have great devotion out of great respect, great trust, and of course never out of fear. So with that in mind, then I would like to to ask all of you to repeat after these words. And yes, the most important is the motivation to do this. Yes, the motivation becomes very important. Maybe to some of us it comes very naturally. So therefore, explaining all this may be just sort of like a repetition. But maybe to some of us it's new. But all in all, the motivation that is described in the Mahayana tradition of the Buddhism is that it's the parent-like sort of motivation, like a mother, let's say, that a loving mother or a caring parent would, particularly it is said that of a single parent, I think, a single parent, and particularly a mother, and who also has a single child, would have that kind of instinct where they can think of none other than their child. And so then whatever decisions she will take, whatever path she takes, that it will always be for her loved one, and very on very rare, to say, only on rare occasions, of course, she would think maybe some things for herself, but often it's always aimed at her loved one. So in the same way, the motivation here is that enlightened motivation, meaning that enlightened as in clear from individualized, I suppose, motivation that is not aimed for one or few, but aimed for all. Seeing all sentient beings, either, of course, the traditional way is to see it as one's parents, and then the motivation to follow this path is as a way to offer one's gratitude. Or in other words, so one can see all sentient beings as one's children. And so therefore, that following this practice, embracing this practice, is a way to help them, let's say, provide them the best. Of course, to our loved ones, we want to offer them nothing but the best, of course. And the best of the best would be none other than enlightenment. And so therefore, with that kind of motivation, then we begin this. So now please repeat after me. Göncho Sumla Dajab Chi Dikpa Tamje Sosor Sha Rove Gela Jeyi Rang Sangje Changchu Yiji Zong Sangje Chödang Choncho La Changchu Parto Japsu Chi Rangjen Tene Rabdru Chir Changchu Semne Kepar Ji Changchu Chogi Semne Keji Ne Semjen Tamje Dagi Drendo Nyer Changchu Chencho Yewong Jepar Ji Rola Penshir Sangje Drupar Sho Göncho Somla Dajab Chi Dikpa Tamje Sosor Sha Rove Gela Jeyi Rang Sangje Changchu Yiji Zong Sangje Chödang Socho La Changchu Bartu Kyapsu, Chi, Rangjin, Tenne, Rabdru, Chir, Chanchu, Semne, Jepar, Ji, Chanchu, Chogi, Semne, Jeji, Ne, Semjen, Tamji, Dagi, Drendo, Nyer, Chanchu, Chencho, Yiwon, Jepar, Ji, Drola, Pencher, Sangji, Drupar, Sho, Gwencho, Sumla, Dajak, Chi, Digpa, Migi, Sosur, Sha, Drove, Gela, Jeyi, Rang, Sangji, Chanchu, Yiji, Zong, Sangji, Chedang, Soncho, La, Chanchu, Bardo, Japsu, Chi, Rangjin, Tenne, Rabdru, Chir, Chanchu, Semne, Jepar, Ji, Chanchu, Chogi, Semne, Jeji, Ne, Semjen, Tamji, Dagi, Drendo, Nyer, Chanchu, Chencho, Yiwon, Jepar, Ji, Drola, Pencher, Sangji, Drupar, Sho. And so the repetition not only is, of course, the general or the fundamental step towards it. It is also the basis of all practices, actually. So therefore we can never neglect this practice as something mundane compared to the more sort of sophisticated or complicated part of the practice. That without the refuge, then basically we have no base for it, base for any other practices at all. We could be practicing the highest of tantras, but without refuge, then means nothing. We could be very much fascinated by it. We could obtain, as I said earlier, power, fortune, and fame. So we could obtain highest powers and power, fortune, fames, all within the known realms. But that's about it. At the end of the day, then when our time is up, then time is up, and sort of it resets again, and then a repetition of everything again, and nothing will mean anything. So whereas if we have the base, the refuge practice as a base, and on top of it, then yes, first of all refuge, then what follows after is the Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva's attitude. So both are included in this. So with these two, then what happens is that then there is first of all an originality, and secondly then there is a direction in a way, and so then nothing is lost. And then on top of it, then whatever we built, then it has a purpose. Otherwise, it's a purposeless sort of hardship and nothing more. So therefore, these two practices are also known as the commitment or vow of the Pratigmasha vow as well as the Bodhisattva vow. And now the next one is known as the Vajrayana vow, or the Tantric vow. So therefore, now that we have completed the first two, then we are ready to technically we are ready to then also generate the Tantric vow as well. Tantric vow, of course, it can be very sort of elaborate if you really delve into it. But in short, it is the vow is about not giving in to viewing the reality as mundane or as useless, just bunch of stuffs, bunch of stuffs coming together and then disappearing after some time, and just meaningless things just happening every day. But everything that happens, whether it's good, bad, in between, that they are all with a purpose in a way. But it has all meaning. That it has the seed to perform the most wonderful things in life. And so therefore it is known as a way to view the world as extraordinary and not as ordinary. So that is often translated as in Tibetan as Dangnang, meaning pure view. So it is a practice of pure view. So therefore, let's say if we generate this view, then from the most mundane aspects of life, such as breathing, becomes extraordinary, becomes with full meaning. I mean, that it's with great purpose, meaning that then suddenly we are able to see the rhythm of breathing as a part of the practice, as part of receiving blessing for oneself from the teachers, from the yidams, from the refuge, from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and at the same time it is also a way to benefit all sentient beings as well, that as we inhale, that we draw in all of the kleshas and karmas of sentient being, and as we exhale, that all of the merit and wisdom that we have generated is given and offered to all sentient beings. So therefore every aspect of everyday experiences becomes extraordinary, and so that is the vow. So in some ways it's very simple. All we have to do is almost like sort of hallucinating oneself that that nothing has changed, but somehow we see things clearer. We see things not clearer, but probably we see things very clear. But of course nothing has changed, because nothing needs to be changed, because everything is already not to say as it should be, but it was always clear, just we didn't see that clarity. So that is the tantric practice of the view of the vow, and so then now we are ready for that. And so therefore next time, whenever when you do any of the tantric practices, it could be any forms of sadhanas, then try to remind yourself that every time you recite the first sort of purification mantra, such as Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarvadhamma Swabhava Shuddha Aham, that itself is the most actually crucial part of the Vajrayana practice actually. What comes afterwards, of course, it's equally important, but that part is very, very important. And normally at that time then we are supposed to take time, however long we need to take, a minute, more than that, if it needs an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, a lifetime, several lifetimes, however long it needs, just so that we are able to have a glimpse of what it is all about. Then afterwards, then the rest can follow. But that part is very, very important. As I was saying, it sort of shows the origin, meaning that we all somehow feel the need that we all must know where we came from. So the sort of one of those fundamental questions, yes. So it shows that this particular mantra then shows that where we come from is practically nowhere. So therefore we are understanding that alone gives us immediate a sense of liberation, that we are not burdened by anything, yet that there is an origin, and that origin is not defined by direction or time or any other. And in the same way, knowing the origin already clears the future equally. Yes, that our journey is also endless, and therefore we don't have this burden of something coming to an end on a sort of fundamental a fundamental end, let's say. So with that kind of understanding, then we should go about these practices. And now I will go through the giving of the initiation, and so until the end of it, then I would like to ask all of you to take time prior to the visualization of yourself as the green Tara, yes, which is normally what we really associate with meditation, yes, when it comes to Buddhist meditation or Vajrayana meditation. But prior to that, what's most important in terms of the meditation is that part, that origin is very, very important. And so therefore, probably if you would like, you can ask yourself what is your view of that origin, and who knows, maybe you'll find some very interesting answers or theories. But whichever way, at the end of the day, meditate that your origin is none other than what you see. What you see, what you experience at this very present moment is our origin, and none other. That there is not a extraordinary origin, or as an emptiness, as in a complete sort of void of everything. Of course, visually we can meditate that. Yes, visually we meditate a complete sort of empty space. But to our consciousness, then what we have to sort of grasp on at the moment is that we try to see that there is no other origin than this very experience. And so therefore there is no sort of there is a sort of not a origin as in a spot or a point where things began, So therefore we always see beginningless, yes, beginningless time and beginningless origin. So what it refers to is that if you want to find the beginning, it's impossible. We can try to find it physically, conceptually, philosophically, from all angles, medically, but we will find at the end nothing. We will just find blurry things, which at some point is just so sort of blurry that we just don't know how to connect the dots, because we are so used to connecting the dots. We're always so used to sort of, I guess, it is part of this society's, general society's mentality, and at the same time it must be also the mentality of our modern world, that we always feel safe and satisfied when we know that that we can somehow connect the dots and we can somehow explain things, put things in order, put things in words, put things in imagery, so that then we feel a sense of either I'm healthy, either I'm normal, either I'm sane, and all kinds of things like that. Whereas in this case, we don't have to be bothered by that at all, because there is no beginning in a way. So therefore, whatever we see, whatever we experience right here, right now, this is the very origin, and that itself then takes care of the answer of what is the future, what is the next. But it's how to say, it's completely free of all these sort of burdens, and so therefore then we don't feel over the top burdened by deadlines. Of course, we do experience it on some level, some sense of maybe making the ends meet, making sort of reaching the deadline and so on and so forth, but we don't become fundamentally worried because we understand that origin. And so therefore take time to meditate, and that, how to say, that this nowhere, or this present moment, whichever way you like to label it, then meditate that is you. Often my teacher says that the way he describes it, that he said, when we look at emptiness, when we meditate on emptiness, we should never meditate in a way that it's the emptiness is out there and we are over here, sort of like like this. Then he says that it will never work, which is really true. He said the best way is to realize that you yourself is the emptiness. And he said the best example is none other than to go back into our experience of when we are extremely frustrated, when we are really angry about something. In that moment, we ourselves is the anger, because the anger is not out there somewhere and we are looking at the anger, but rather we are the anger. We can never separate me from my anger. So in the same way, if you are able to meditate this very origin of, if you are thinking only of an individual, then the origin of me. If you are thinking in terms of few, then the origin of us. If you are thinking of all sentient beings, the origin of everything, the origin of the universe is right here, right now. And so then try to sort of put together the logics, and once the logics are sort of in more or less in right order, then take time to sort of rest in that state. And then now the most tricky part is not to go any further, not to sort of try to refine too much, because if we refine too much, then we will again fall into another extreme, that we will repeat doing the same thing over and over again, and then again we will lose our way. So therefore, without losing that sense of direction, then just try to sort of rest there. And it's a very it could be challenging in terms of, it's like we are forcing ourselves to be natural, which is very ironic, of course, but that's the only way we can communicate. So then once you have done that, once you feel comfortable with it, then meditate yourself as the Green Tara, as clear as instructed in the teachings. Of course, in here the process is more or less what you have known so far, that once you have a sense of that that beginning, or that beginningless beginning, that emptiness, then suddenly you can meditate yourself as the syllable of, in this case, the Tara, a syllable Tam in green color. If you're not familiar with the syllable in terms of what form, then at least meditate in what language, they meditate just a green ball of light, let's say, a very radiant. It's like a green sun, basically, or a green moon. And then meditate that this is on top of a lotus flower and carpeted by a moon, and then from there it radiates light to all 10 directions, to all the universes, and liberates all sentient beings. And then at the same time it also performs all kinds of offerings of body, speech and mind to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then the light draws back, comes back and dissolves into this, let's say, syllable. And then the syllable will immediately transform into the green Tara. And then you meditate yourself as a green Tara with, let's say, sitting in a half meditation posture, and with two arms, one holding the lotus flower, the stem of the lotus flower, and then the other on top of the right knee, and then meditate that you yourself is the Tara, inseparable, and that again try not to see the Tara as separate from yourself, but you yourself as the Tara. And with it is said that you have to have a bit of a pride in this case. And I often find that very interesting, because often, of course, in the beginning we always bash the pride is, and saying how bad it is and how harmful it is. But that is just, I think, for the beginning, I think, to sort of, it's like part of the process. But towards the end, once we become, how to say, masters of our own emotion, once we recognize our emotions very clear, then we can utilize them in whichever way we like, without being harmed, without the afflictive emotions harming us. Like a very experienced doctor will be able to utilize all forms of poison, and at the same time he or she will not be affected by it, right? So in the same way. But prior to that, as I said earlier, the first thing, try to find the qualities of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so that you draw inspiration, and then generate the refuge. Then focus on your motivation of why you want to do all this. And then lastly, then try to get in touch with the reality, which is, in most commonly known as emptiness, which is not which is nothing at all, actually. So there's nothing frightful about it at all. It's everything. Everything that we see is it. So emptiness, there is nothing separate from all of this. Everything that we see is it. That whatever terminologies we can think of, whatever concepts we can think of, whatever feelings we can focus on, whatever experiences we can grasp, all of those are just different names, different aspects of emptiness, nothing more. So therefore, by getting in touch with everything around us, is the practice of emptiness. And once you feel comfortable with that, and not feel sort of overwhelmed by it, then out of that great sort of freedom, then you yourself meditate as the Tara. Najara Amrita Kundali Hana Hana Home Najara Amrita Kundali Hana Hana Home Najara Amrita Kundali Hana Hana Home Sawa Bhava Shuddha Sarva Dhamma Sawa Bhava Shuddha Aham Tongpa Longba Nido Juro, Tombangang Le, Che Nam Padma Tang, Davi Chilkoroji Tingdo, Savan Tam Janko Dele Wenche, Papan Che, Simjin Je Tuen Je, Surun Du Yongso Juba Le, Rani Jezuman Pamandama, Jango Market Je Pungbo Tabu, Shalchi Chani, Ye, Chojinji, Chajan Zeching, Yembe, Tepsin Jeve, Upala, Humbo, Meto Rabdo Jeba. Yedo Omba, Dongbo Songbo Dan, Jeba, Tokran Zimba, Chudulumbe, Lanzo Tarba, Numejingo, Jesing, Chikba. Zumbe Shaldan Pemenda Matara, Yambe Chendan Denjin, Nambra Travi, Lai, Tarji Shandao Dan, Toyo Sova, Utandantin, Chora Jinji, Rimbochi, Ujin, Yanjan, Gojin, Kara, Toshar Namdan, Sereji, Dubian Zeba, Yedo Lonshin, Wizrantrova, Shamni, Ye Jambe, Chidron Chepe, Juba, the Tower, On Kabu, Jimbara, Amabu, Tukra, On Humbe, Sembara Jur, the Chen Nam Wan Limbapo, Yidam, Pamadrumara, Sa Damne, Gangla, Wang, Longway, Yusataban, the Yang. Jige idam Pamadruma Nisumdo, Ige Sundan Jeba, Sar Tola, Lubenyan, Tere Sawala, Mendin Jebe, Lubendan, Donjiji, Kuy, Netamjene, Wizard Kato, Nazo Trebe, idam Pamadruma, Lazo, Gombadanda, Bado Meba Kawa Puyu, Sobadara, Jen Tang, Jenama, Sipsip Tembe, Jenam, Gosunda. Idam Pamadruma Gosuntu, Yemi Cheber Juji, Sheba, Pepchung, Nembajila, Semrang Bausu, Shu. And so just one last thing I will add before I proceed is that then so now until the end then one has to meditate that now in this case the one who is now giving the initiation, the teacher, has to be seen also equally inseparable from the Tara and not as two different things but as the same. And so therefore, if we're able to do that, then we all become basically connected. That's how to say that each of us are inseparable from each and every one of us, and the very thing we do is the same thing that we do. That we practice the same Tara, that we have the same motivation, that we have the same intention. And so therefore we all walk the same and talk the same, as they say. And then in that way, then we all, how to say, are able to acquire something that is, let's say, worthwhile. Om tare tu tare ture abeshaya abeshaya 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 Abhishaya Abhishaya Om Dare Du Dare Dure 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 Abhishaya Abhishaya Om Dare Du Dare Abhishaya 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 Om Dare Du Dare Dure 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 Abhishaya Om Dare Du Dare Dure Abhishaya Om Dare Du Dare Dure Abhishaya Shibadini Minyambrajishin Temperajebe Mabanzu Deshta Wajaran Deshta Wajar Deshta Wajaran Deshta Wajaran Da Kusuntu Yundun Tine Jejinan Le Dampo Kuyejinan Shue Dunda Sovande Bande Jedunzu. Now please repeat after me. Du Sum Sanje Tamje Tang Kuyi Dorje Kloben Ji Dala Pama, Droma, Yi, Koyi, Ngoju, Zaldu, So, Dedara, Sowada Belebendang, Dunji, Jirandang, Jebe, Tugane, Wizard Tre, Ranjin, Nene, Wangla Nam Jen, Dran, Ringaya Yum Cho, Chomonam Jo, Wangkuru, Ju. Jendara, Damba Zamjene, Lanam Jinan Trasodara, Lai, Chunan Dabayan, Dejendake Wangkuru, Dedara Wangkuru, Kukangan Jimata, Chuya Lama Yara Libe, Rijeda Boba, Meja Wajambara and Juru. Adam Hamin Jibin Jesa Jimpa la Duke, the Pumba Kuladon, the Mampamandra. The Janamji, Luja Gonia Sabi, the Tamjeta, Lula Neben, then Tamjeshi, Lulayaku Gamba, Jibo Tribu Kundra, Kabachin, the Chebate. Kui Jena in Yiba Songe Jenonga Tondo so and the body Jedens. Please repeat after me once again. Tu sum Sanje Tamje Tang Songi Dorje Lopen Ji Dala Hama Dolma Yi Songi Ngoju Zaldu So Dedara Sowada Be Lobendang Dunji Tugane Watching Tre Che Namji Shaldo Shuni Tukuram Koagum Dei Jedunze. So please repeat after me the mantra of the Tara. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha Om Tare Tutare Jenam Medogi Chingwari, Lubenlam, Pora Samlandi, Jedunze, Jomden, Dagi, Zongla, Ji, Dala, Gover, Zedu, So, Maji Chingwadeni, Medogi Chingwarajene, Jura Jingbe Mebanze, Jomden, Dela, Padang Lamin Jebenji, Sabjeba Mola de Pumbakun and Ranzemon Pomadrum. The Chen Namjing Gone Sabi Dita, Alan Nujin, Seven Gajenshi, Hadavala one, Jebu Sonyan to Judan and Balonjo Zogo Tobi, Kabachin to Jebani, Songe Jenon, Somba to Jejan, Shuvedon, so on the Bandi Jedun. Please repeat after me. Du sum Sanje Tamje Tang Tokji Dorje Klopen Ji Dala Pama Dolma Yi Tokji Ngoju Zaldu So Dedara Sowada Belbenje Tugane Wizard Tre Dunji Jelaya Tukrabo Te Tugane Chansen Dun Tre Namjin Hinkaran Timbe, Tujung, Rotamjin, Nyambajilan, Chaja, Chimbang, Nyambra, Show Wanguru, Doje Chimbone, Kamsum Kunje, Chajeba, Sanje Kunje, Sansumje, Nele Chungwan Jimbra, 라단 화면 제변전 사지에 뻔모라도 되 공부 공연 전제만 포만점 이지랑 남지 이제권에 사배지바다 일라는 세원 가진 탐지시 이등인 전공발라와 저부 추계사ben 줄라 잡아대 투지제나 이바 윤된 제제나 쉬어든도 소원데 번데 제든즈 again please repeat after me 두숨 산제 탐제 당 연된 도르제 플로벤 지 달라 황마 졸마 이 연된 응어주 쌀도 솔 제소와다베 제남 제점만 포만점에 구라사와라 도변양 대사베 겐 철로 창전남 우발라 소바데베 제점만 포만점마 당 선제 탐제지 연된 정으로 답냠바지 네네 포만점마이 창선 우발랑 한보 당 다당人间 젠소데 최제 다도 정바나 탑시 송돈 주바 당 제점 상제 탐지지 연대 근전에 저던 타도 산제 토바라쇼 라단 화면 주변 제삽제 범몰라도 대풍바 근련전제만 포마 대제 남제 사반 현조계 제바다 고섬 현조라 늦은 세와 탐지시 내가 남제 연된 주발라 왕 타돈 제부 탈와동 넘버 빈베 연된 tuk주 자질라 오메 걸바진도 제반에 연된 제전은 오가번 전에 제전은 쉬외던도 소반데 반데 이제든지 please read after me 두숨 상제 탐제 당 친레 도르제 플로펜 지 달라 파마 졸마 이 친레 응어주 쌀도 솔 제소와다베 라마탄 둔지 이레메베 트라바네 시웨 거즈라 카본 덤바네 왕게 거즈라 마보 토카네 타보 거즈라 팅가 대와네 제베 거즈라 세보 상와네 파조 거즈라 장고 남체 제 남제네 ngara 템베네 뎀바제 탐지시 차당 수남 탐지지 나세 탐제 원돈드 다게 탐제 차라제 산제 탐제제 춘레제 원도브라 원시 선제 고제 천례원 대링 졸라 고로라자 선제 건도라 조체 천례원데 제제로 엄다르 라단 하면 제변 제삽전 범몰라도 대 풍바 건련 전제만 포마좀 제 남지 고숨 천념지 디집다 고숨란 내징 세변가 진시 레람점 드브라원 드부 상제지 틀리 잡아 답에 다니라 원저가 가바진도 제바데 틀리 제제나인 다 토르만델라 시드 숨레 파라시베체 제제만 포마 조마 장고 군도 마게제 풍보다고 샤지게 고도 장고 마게지 풍보다고 샤지 차니 예 최전당 연 탭선저가 우발라 본보 요한네 점바주르글은 베나소다와 누메 지고 제신 태바 시신 좀바 남다 라이다지 현답당 또요 소와 오전던든 저로 진신 rinpoche ojen yenjen ojen kara tochal namdang seje doven zeba shani ye jangbe jirong chepe yu ba di tawar om kabu rinpara a mabu tukara hong honben senpa di tenke chala kaji jelama baji chala idam hatso woge chala chijong som sodan jeba tintiba tara je namji chugro chene ngeje sowa je tara taba tara jela ngodo tanje nanjong henbe menden tsechi donze ji de som sanje tamje je kusong to je chala shin ngodo namye jongwe ne torme wangro chenbo jin ja hong wang so And now for the conclusion, we have this initiation of what is known as the offering, the torma. And in this case, we are supposed to recognize this as the universe of the Tara, or the pure land of Tara. And then at the center here, if you are able to recognize among the midst of the various forms of Tara, is at the center the green Tara. And of course, till now you have visualized yourself as this green Tara. And one thing that I could say, maybe it could help, maybe it would not, is that the purpose of visualizing ourselves as in these forms of various wisdom aspects, the way I understand it, I'm sure there are better ways to describe it, but the way I understand it is that it's a form of it's a way of identifying ourselves as various personalities that we are normally perceived every day. Actually, yes, every individual that we come across, each individual will perceive us in a different way. Meaning, to begin with, the strangers, of course, that we come across every day, and then probably among our colleagues, although we may be performing more or less the same duties every day, but from each individual, they will again perceive us in a different way. And then, of course, now coming a little bit closer, then every maybe friends, every family members, the way each of them also perceives us also different. So meaning that, for example, to one's parents, although we are the same person, then we will always be perceived, no matter the age, no matter how we grow up, how we transform, that we will always be perceived to them as their sons or their daughters. And towards our children, exactly the opposite. And to our siblings, as siblings. So therefore, simultaneously we all are perceived in the various ways. The thing is, of course, when we are living what is known as the samsaric way of life, is that we often somehow neglect or we forget these various sort of perspectives, and as a result of it, often ends up in causing more and more confusion because we are ignorant, let's say, of these facts. And so therefore now one of the purposes that I see, the reasons I see about visualizing ourselves as others, in this case as a Tara, of course it's a very unusual way because, for example, first of all, it's an imaginary form, and secondly, even if it's real, it's not logical, it's green, and then and various other reasons, of course. But there is a benefit, because I think the benefit is that then we, through the practice, we are able to recognize ourselves in some way or another, that of the various different personalities we will be perceived as, and becoming aware of it then helps us perform better in a way, helps us manage our projection better, and better in a way that with awareness, with the right attitude, with a not to say right, but with a healthy attitude and with a healthy motivation, and so that then we are able to simultaneously benefit all, whichever way we are perceived. If we are perceived as friends, as that. If we are perceived as not as friends, equally we can benefit. Because the Bodhisattva's way is that it is said that actually to a practitioner, more than friends, the foes are better teachers and more direct teachers. And so therefore, if we are perceived as foes, then we will also do that with awareness, so that may our presence, may our sort of projection be that of a beneficial form. So in that way, then we will, if you can somehow connect, then maybe it will be more beneficial. Jawa Sejedin Bejilang dan Jundin Poma Dimensional Rwanda Dada Gasons in Jindala Sujana Majuji Owen Benza Tomal Haresa Vadishine, Chen Namla Timbe, Chenamji, Lunga, Yisum Tang, Jizunum Poma Dime, Kusundu, Yeme Dundra Ju Ladang Lamin Jibinji, Sajeba Mola de Humba Kunle Donzema Poma. Dam Pama Drume Wang Lekpara Toba Yimbe, Dene Zonde. And De W. Jinan Lekpara Tobi, couldn't Tarage Yundo, Mandambo, what I show. Deetawe Mongol Lekpara Toba Yimbe Gaza Jindundang Hoya Malamdal Hinjido Sangbara Shu Sonam Deyan Tamje Tune Nyeben Danam Bamje Nen Jega Nanje Balam Trubayi Seben Solomon Now from my part the practice is complete, and now from here onwards your part begins in a way, meaning that in terms of initiating, in terms of introduction, I have sort of done some, I have done some of that for now. The thing is that we really have to make sure that we perceive this practice as something very precious and very rare. If we can, if you forget to, or if you neglect the preciousness of this practice, then there is a risk that we could just we could just see this as any other practice, any other ritual, any other sort of rituals that is going to become extinct soon. And so therefore, we will not really reap any benefit from it. So therefore, whereas we have to somehow find a way to understand that this is very precious and very rare and very beneficial. And then only then we will be able to somehow make some use of it, make it meaningful. And so therefore, of course, it's not proper of me to ask of you to suddenly now begin a retreat of Tara or do something fantastic, but nevertheless, I can nevertheless ask you to at least recite the mantras that you have received today, and then try to focus on the explanations I have given today, and then try to reflect on it, and try to make a routine, a rhythm of this recitation and of this practice. They are, as you know, of course, they are very practical sadhanas of this practice, which is very easy to sort of practice every day, at home, at work, wherever we are. And I highly encourage this to each and every one of you, and also share that among your friends, those who are interested. So that the activity begins right there, or right here. Right here, in terms of the activity begins from yourselves, rather than going out there and trying to do something. We can already begin the process already within ourselves, and by already making ourselves more aware of who we are, the environment, already will have a huge impact in terms of, rather than more than trying to persuade others to follow this path. We ourselves, if you follow, we will become the perfect examples for it, and we will naturally encourage others, we will naturally inspire others without having to persuade them at all. And that's the best. It's effortless then. We enjoy what we do, and in turn it inspires others, and they will do the same, and that sort of rhythm will multiply and pass on to all the other generations. Then it's effortless. So therefore, I would like you to keep that in mind, and then you can slowly approach me, and I will offer you the blessed objects so that you can receive the blessings from them. 手孙接着西数。
It's okay. It's okay.
Ja, du ska
There's no one out there. So everybody has got your blessing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now we have a blessed.
Yeah.
Oh.